I would say I first found out about the Bright Future Scholarship through some encouragement from my parents, and then also from some fellow classmates, hitting that time period where you start to kind of prepare for the next steps, where you want to study beyond high school. And I think that combined with encouragement from them, and then taking that over to my counselor and finding out what were the achievement levels, what boxes needed to be checked in order to accomplish that Bright Future Scholarship, was extremely helpful. So the feeling, I think, once you finally got that notification that it was coming your way, I think is almost a sense of relief, not only for yourself, but I think as an 18-year-old, you don't even necessarily have full understanding of what it means. But I do recall feeling a sense of making my parents, proud to some extent, and also kind of relieving some of the burden from them. They had other different savings accounts, I think, for me along the way, which I was very blessed with. But I think once that was achieved, it was almost like being able to get something to give back to my parents because of the sacrifice they, of course, made for me as well. Once I ended up attending UCF, was able to use those funds for helping with everything from textbooks, obviously tuition, and then as well as housing as well. So it was beneficial in that aspect where you were able to not have that constant fear of knowing that you're going to be under this giant heavy rock once you finished up school. And you hear so many people, and I have so many close friends, colleagues that are still kind of have that giant level of debt from their secondary education sitting on them. And I think that it hinders them in many ways, between purchasing a home, purchasing vehicles, relationships, different things that are sacrifices you have to make. And I think that having that Bright Futures kind of squared away, my education expenses, was extremely beneficial and kind of pushing me forward, kind of giving me a step ahead of my fellow classmates that might have those similar situations. I think my initial feeling when you open up that envelope, at the time it was an envelope rather than an email. I think that, it was it was a great sense of joy. It was also a sense of really pride to be able to say, hey, this is something that was accomplished, and this is something I can go back to my family members and say, hey, this is going to help us along the way. And so it was definitely a sense of overjoy and pride. Had I not had this as a financial assistance for college, I think that I would expect that my decision-making would have been differently in where I attended school. I think that me personally, I still would have found a way, whether it was through a tech school or maybe even just staying 4 years at a different university that maybe was a little bit more cost-effective. But I think that going to the actual school of my choosing was probably the biggest benefit, because it also allowed me to open up a network of new potential employers along the way.
Click here to learn more about Florida's Bright Futures Scholarship Program.